Good evening or good morning. Thank you for spending your Friday night or Saturday morning with us, depending on where you're at or whichever day it is when you watch the recording. I am really excited about the information we're going to talk about and the conversations that we're going to have. This is definitely going to be a little bit interactive. So I'm just excited, guys, because you'll see. It's good stuff. And I think it's really important for us to know where we are and know where we're headed. So before we jump into some of the kind of meat of our time, grab a pen, grab something to write with if you are somebody who needs that. I need that. I like to see things. I'm also going to share some pictures throughout the event throughout the call. So if you want to know what those are, you can just, yay, Sandy, you made it. Woo-hoo. You can, those are also on the team page, so I'll make sure to share those separately. Okay. Sorry. Can you hear us, Sandy? Can you hear? Okay, awesome. All right, I'm going to do announcements at the end. We're just going to kind of jump in here. So here is a quote from Bob Heilig. He is an incredible network marketing coach. And he says, you have not successfully recruited someone until you've helped them get results. You have not successfully recruited someone until you've helped them get results. And I like the positive side of that. You have successfully recruited someone when they get results. Okay. That is hugely important because, like, I'm going to share some of your stories. I know some of you guys, all three of you here on this call, all had detox that you went through. So the reality is your success, your exciting moment was not the moment when you clicked join Plexus or enroll. It was the moment when you started to see that change, right? Like that is the success, quote unquote. And I think it's really important for us to keep that forefront in our minds. Also, we have to know what people's goals are, right? So the hard work, the fruitful work, the exciting work, the fulfilling work in our business comes after someone signs up, okay? A lot of our energy focuses on the before, getting them information, getting them signed up, right? Honestly, the fruitful work, the real grit, why we do what we do is after they join, okay? That's just the step one, right? Have you felt that? You felt like you signed someone up and you think, oh, okay, here we go. Now I got to help them like actually feel better, lose the weight, go silver, whatever their goal is, right? Has anyone experienced that? I experience that every single month, or in a month when I'm like, oh, wow, I've had X amount of people, whatever number of people join me, I think, ooh, okay, here we go. Like this is the beginning. All right. So we are going to talk about this tonight and get some real clarity and action steps. I want you to comment. If you are on your phone or iPad, just kind of click on the screen and you'll see chat come up. There'll be a little bar at the bottom. Go ahead and open that up. Be ready to text, with us. So that you can throw some comments in, be ready to share some ideas. This is not a like we have it all figured out or this person has it all figured out. This is we are a team and want to learn from each other. Okay. Be engaged, guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your time and showing your face. Engagement, comment, ask questions, jot things down, record questions you want to ask your sponsor later, whatever that is, things I need to clarify if I'm, I just want to set that tone. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight is caring for our people. What happens after the sign up? What's next? All right. I want to frame this talk with some truth. We are not in a business of signing people up to Plexus. No. We are in a business of helping people reach their health goals. We are in a business of helping people reach their financial goals. We are in the business of following through with people, of loving them well, of connecting with them and supporting them. Okay, we're not counselors, we are not doctors, but we are in the business of journeying with people, okay? And the journey does not just go, whoop, I got into the enrollment and I'm done, okay? So as we head into this chat that I'm doing a lot of build up for, I want you to have a few questions. I want you to just kind of notice in yourself as Nicole talks or as the conversation goes, are there areas of resistance where immediately your mind goes, oh no, that's not for me? Are there areas you're frustrated? Are you hesitant at all, right? Like, ooh, that's great for you. That won't work for me, whatever. Hesitant fears that come up, okay? Just have that mindfulness. If you need to jot those words down, kind of come back to them. And some of you guys are brand new. Some of you are kind of the middle of a journey. Some of you are very seasoned. And so, like I said, if there is something you're unclear about, just jot it down. And I want to make sure that you don't kind of walk away from this call like, what was that? What was that thing she talked about? I don't know that verbiage. This won't be a call where we dig into every detail. So I got some really helpful information from our coach, my coach Dylan, okay? Really, really helpful information. It was actually hard for me to hear some of these numbers that he shared with me. But let me tell you, it was also very liberating, and I want it to feel liberating for us as a team, okay? Because it gave me some insights into why I have been frustrated. So we're going to jump in. This is the part where you chat. When a new ambassador joins us, okay, what percentage of the people who join us do you think are active their second month? Okay, so this is a percentage number. They join in May, okay? They order their welcome pack. Next month, June, what percentage on average for our team of people order again, active the second month? Order 100 PB. Just throw up some numbers. Like, y'all can unmute yourself or you can just type it in the chat or throw us numbers. 0 to 100%. Okay, 50%, 60%, 30%. Okay. What do you think about 2 months later? Like, what's an average? Okay, so now we're into the second month. Okay, they ordered April, May, now it's June. What percentage of people do you think? So, okay, a 30%. So number going down. Sandy, you said 50 first month, second month, 30, okay? 40% second month. 60% second month, okay? Yep, so Holly, your number is going up. You're thinking second month they order 30%, third month now they're ordering, there's more orders going through, okay? Okay, what percentage do you think indicates a healthy team that's experiencing momentum and growth and sustainable business? It's like, what would be, like, you think somebody who you think's rocking it in their business, they're, a diamond, they're a jewel who's just growing really fast. What kind of number do you think they would have? Okay, 75 to 85%. 70%? I love how 70%. Okay. I love how no one's saying 100%. Like, we know life happens. Nobody has 100%. That's always the ideal, but absolutely not the case. Okay. So according to corporate and kind of how they break down statistics, they say that at the 30-day mark, someone experiencing growth and momentum, their team is going to have an 80% retention rate. Okay. So we said 50, 60, 30, right, is what we kind of thought. Corporate saying 80% at the 30-day mark. Okay, so that means they basically now are on 2 months of products. They ordered their first month, second month, they have over 100 PV, and they're ordering, multiple things in a combo. Okay, and they actually show that for the 60-day mark as well. 60 days, 80% is where we're at. So people ordering for 3 months at 100 PV is like, we're talking Brooke Hemingway. She has a really, really strong momentum in growth on both of her first leg of diamond and her second. So like, that's kind of comparatively, they're saying this is the mark of a good team. That's one of the markers. There's other aspects, right, that mark momentum and growth. A percentage of people going silver, 10% of people going silver, also a really good indicator of momentum and growth, right? But we know if people are going silver, they've also got 100 PV because they're earning income there. So okay, so what do you think ours is? What do you think our percentage is? Let's start with the 30-day. Over the last few months, or speak for your team. What do you feel like for your team? If it's 2 people, if it's 1 person, if it's just you, if it's 25 people, what do you think that percentage is for your team 30 days? Okay, Holly says 40. Kendall says 70. Sandy, yeah, 100%, sister, 100%. Love it, love it. Okay, so averaging for us over a 30-day period, we have a couple of things. We're running around 56 to 59%, okay, is our team. Now, granted, that's all of our different teams, right? This is my team and down. However, when we kind of isolate, like if I look at Kendall's leg or look at Holly's, team, those trends are pretty specific all throughout. Like there is definitely, you might have somebody who's 65 and you might have somebody else who's 52, right? But that average, we don't have somebody who's doing it perfectly and hitting 100% all the time, and we don't have somebody who's lagging at 20%. Does that make sense? Like it's a pretty true interpretation. Okay, so then I want to stop and celebrate this. Our team in 2019, anyone want to guess how many ambassadors joined our team in 2019? 5 months. Right now, 5.5 months. You're like, I don't know, 100, okay? More. This is fun. 150, very close. 300. I like the way you're thinking, Sandy. Okay, we had 152 people join us in 2019. That is amazing. That is amazing, guys. Did you know that if every single one of those people ordered, that's actually equivalent to a senior Ruby income? Okay, 150 points is senior Ruby. So we're talking, that's an average. If you don't know, like this is an average of like $4,000 worth of an income, right? Collectively that our team has done. And I share that to show this is magnitude. This is momentum. This is huge. This is a lot of people, okay? So in this year, the percentage, and I'll quit making y'all guess everything. This year alone, what we have retained of that as of May, so we look at all the people who joined in 2019 and who ordered in May with 100 PV or more that were active, we had 60. Okay, so that percentage is a 40% retention rate. Okay, so just give you that overall. Okay, so, and right, we know life happens. We know we are not going to have 100%. But let me tell you, well, I want to ask you this. What do you feel like when you feel that number, when you think, ooh, okay, I had 10 people, and if this holds true across the board, like your personal statistic was what the team is. In my second month, I add 10 people. In my second month, 5.5 of them are going to order 100 PV, which means you can't have half a person, so you have 5 people order 100 PV. Okay, so second month now that you have 5. The month after that, you have 4 or 5. And 3 months later, you have 4 out of 10, okay? How does that feel? Are we like, yeah, this is awesome, ugh, frustrated, jubilant, lost. I don't even know how I feel. Okay, all these like boom. Initial reaction of me is this, but you know what? It gives such clarity of why we felt frustrated, of what those numbers are indicative of something that is missed, okay? And like, I am the leader of my team. You are each a leader of your own team, but collectively, I take a huge responsibility for that, right? So this is never everyone just got to fix stuff. Like, my numbers are in there, guys. This is me too, okay? Like, I've had people who joined in March who quit already and got their money back. Like, this is me in there. True, Sandy point. It would be great if you had 4 people that stayed because you don't have anyone yet, right? Yes, very true. And I think that's important. That's why we stop and we celebrate. Like, the 152 people are a lot of lives, a lot of opportunity, a lot of people who are reaching to us and have trusted us. That's huge. 60 people still ordering is huge. That's growth. That's lives change. That's 60 people. Like, we do not discount and push past those 60. Do you know what I mean? So when I heard those numbers, I was like, yes, exactly. We've been missing, like, this makes sense because we've been adding, and I know the last couple of months, several of you have had goals. I want to go silver. I want to go gold. I want to go senior gold. And it's not happening. And you're like, okay, adjust, go next month. Okay, adjust, go next month. And at some point, I'm like, we can't just keep saying, okay, let's just keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, right? We have to shift gears. So to me, this is liberating because I'm like, we are getting clear on some things. So I talked with my coach, and it's so funny because he brought up things that I've already talked to some of you about, have already been kind of on my radar. And so I just love confirmation and ideas going. Yes, it feels like running my wheels in the mud. Exactly. It does. I mean, it can't feel that way. It can feel like a disappointment for people that have joined you, and you think, oh gosh, like, you don't have a very good shot of having success, right? Okay, and so I also thought, this is a baseline that we are going to grow from. And I also thought, my team is going to freaking rock this, because how cool is it going to be? We have these numbers as a baseline, and as we put collective effort in individually and all together, Sandy, when you're starting your team, you're going to start them off stronger than I started my people off 2 months ago, right? Because you're learning from what we are all learning and doing. Okay. Questions so far? Good point, Kendall. Incentives and temporary goals can deter you from the long-term sustainability of your team growth and strong foundation. Okay. So what you're about to get into are some of the things where we might be missing them. I want us to pull back from that. We're going to come back to where we might be missing them. I want you guys to share, especially like Kendall and Holly, because you guys have some customers. What's one thing that you know brings success for your people? Okay, what's one thing that you do when you start somebody out that these are going to be your 40, 50, 60% who are continuing having success with the products, reaching their goals, right? As Bob Heilig's kind of quote said, you're successfully recruiting someone and helping them reach their goal. What are some things that you do or think help?
Are you pointing at me, Kendall? It's so hard to see on the screen. So for me, you know, the people that I've had the greatest success, not just with retention with, but with really like achieving those health goals, are the people that I've spent the greatest amount of time in communication with, being flexible about their dosages, about really understanding their symptoms, whether or not those are initial symptoms or detox symptoms, or even, you know, just positive side effects of using the probiotics, because that creates this like agenda and culture between the two of us, where it's not about me, you know, saying I'm the person who's selling these probiotics and this is the system and you need to take it. It's not being put on them. It's being created for them. So that creates a really safe experience for them, where they know that they can come back to me and say, you know what, this is just not working, and just being really open and curious about that, and knowing that together we're always working towards a solution. You know, that my priority is not keeping them on probiotics. My priority is helping them to be healthy. And I think that our team has an enormous number of amazing resources for that. Like, you know, I'm kind of always constantly relying on you guys upline or sideline, going into the Facebook group to get information, going into the other Facebook groups, into the, you know, Real People, Real Stories, and Team Sepsis Provision, and all of those groups. There's just such an abundance of information and support available to help in that really close-up journey.
Awesome. Love that. So I hear you saying things like listening, it's honest communication. They know that you're in this with them. It's not you selling something to them. It's, my goal is to help you feel your best, and we're in this together. Awesome. That's, yeah, love it.
Before Holly shared her answer, I had to really strip away and think, who has been successful with me? What have I done differently with them? And it was communication, working through dosing. And it is a reciprocated relationship. And although not everyone is going to reciprocate that back to you, come to you. And I have had some fall off that way, they've not communicated with me. There have been some that I have failed to communicate intentionally and thoroughly with. And that's something I want to continue to work on. So communication was my number one thing. And we've talked about Brooke Hemingway, one of the strongest. Before she was one of the strongest, I saw something she did differently, and it went against the grain of what everyone else was doing. And what everyone else was doing, and the whole company shifted. And it's not focusing so much on, because you hear, if your own recruits is not your top priority, then you're not going to grow your business. But Brooke Hemingway, and that's true, you can't just go into management mode, but Brooke Hemingway, she said one time, and I've never forgotten it, but I've never also ran after it. I've never been at the top of she's never been at the top of any list for recruits, ever. And she is at the top of the business because she has such a good business model in who's a preferred customer versus who's an ambassador, not freaking out over a incentive and abandoning her
Principle.
What's the word? And her method and her model of sustainable business. And I want that. But I think that's what's helped me is when I honor the person and, like Holly said, setting them up for what's best for them.
Okay.
But yeah, communication. I'll stop talking, but you struck so many chords with me already. I'm loving these numbers. Thank you for sharing those.
Yeah, it's a great baseline, right? And I mean,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think you guys have started to get into, thank you for sharing that. I think it's really important to hear and I want each of us who are listening, re-listening as you continue to go forward, keep putting that question in your mind at the end of a month reflection. What has helped me to succeed? What have been winning points for me? What have I done that has produced something positive in any aspect, right? Know that because sometimes you accidentally stumble onto things, but if you don't pause to reflect, you can't grow and you can't also celebrate and you can't know where you're at, right? You need that baseline. So I think it's a really important skill for us to continue to have as a team and as individuals. Okay, so you guys started to get into this other question, which is a big one. At what point are we missing people? Right? At what aspect, where are those people who drop off, right? What's the miss? Or those people who have 70 PV, what's the miss, right? Because the reality is we have people, I think last month they had 40 people in my organization that ordered less than 100 PV, okay? They're not active, but we've missed them because the reality is if you're not getting paid from that person because they don't have 100 PV, there is less of an input that you just realistically are going to put, right? You're not getting a paycheck there. So if that happens for 5, 6, 7 months, you're like, shoot, man, they're not the person that you reach out to. It just happens because energy input, energy output, as Holly's been talking about. So y'all watch her Instagram stories. I love them. So what are we doing that is contributing to people? 90 days is kind of the mark. If we can get someone to 90 days or their first paycheck, even if that's $1 they earn from their own products, they have a longevity plan with a company that is infinitely more successful, okay? I forget the statistic, but I've heard it from the 2 different coaches now. They're like, that's it. Like, we got to get people to 90 days of consistency. And we got to get them a paycheck, even if it's $5 on their own order. Okay. So I feel like we've shared some. Y'all keep typing in comments, things that you feel like are inhibiting factors, or where do you feel like we're missing people. Okay. And I'm going to share on 3 areas. So I'm going to pause and let you guys think.
I think this could be wrong. This really could be wrong, but I think it's if you get somebody a paycheck within the first 90 days, they have an 80%. Oh, it's not 80%. Sorry. That's a different, or that's a subscription. If their subscription's off, they have an 80% chance of never ordering again. I was thinking if they have an 80% chance of sticking around for a year if they go silver.
I actually think, when they go silver, there's like an 80% retention rate a year later. It's severe. It's drastic. Absolutely. That's what I was also thinking was that number, but I'm like, ooh, that's high. Well, that's why Brooke Hemingway, whose team has a 25% silver rate, is a stinking double diamond, and she's never done the personal recruiting level because she's got a quarter of her team hitting silver and getting a paycheck. They're sticking around. They're invested. They see, even if they just, have 3 people, there's just a level that's different. So that's, and I'm not trying to laud Brooke Hemingway or say she's like got it all figured out, but I think, it's good to know, like, kind of statistically what we're going for. Okay.
I'll say it. She's got it all figured out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking.
Okay. So here are our 3 areas that I wanted us to focus on a little bit that I see. And I was kind of talking with my corporate coach, and he was asking questions, and I was saying, do you think it could be this? Do you think it could be this? So regardless, you may be strong in some of these areas. You may need to grow in some of these areas. This is the part I'm going to blow through some stuff and name some things you may have no clue about. Jot it down, and we'll search, find it on the team page, and we'll help you get connected with training or more like, what are we talking about here? Okay, first things first, sign them up the way that is best for them. Okay, sign them up, which is exactly what Kendall was kind of hinting at. Holly, you're talking about know what their goals are and help them. So I want to figure out where I share my screen. Start share, there we go. Okay, hang with me a second while I pull it up. Sorry. This little graphic is bomb diggity, y'all, because it is simple, takes the guesswork out of it. Can you guys see this? How to differentiate with the potential. It's a little, can you also see me? I don't know, it doesn't matter. So you've got somebody, a prospect, and they say, I'm interested in the products. If they are going to order a triplex or less, boom, preferred customer. Like, we go down the line here. If they're going to order triplex and more, we split to the right. And then we go, do they have a 30-day commitment or a 90-day commitment? Okay. And that, again, that's something else we're going to reference. I call it my 90-day preaching. Did you give them the 90-day speech? Okay. So 90-day speech, do they say, yes, I'm committed. I know it's not going to be an overnight change. I am open to being consistent with these products for 90 plus days and working with you. And they're not hesitant. They're set. Those people become an ambassador. Done. If they are hesitant and they're not sure, or they're like, well, I want to start with triplex, but really I'm just kind of interested in slim. No questions asked, preferred customer. Okay. Again, this is a really great, and you can talk to them at that point, like, let's start you here. And when we find the routine that's really you're committed to sticking with, then we can always upgrade you. We'll just upgrade you in a month or two and then you can get that wholesale pricing. Okay. You do that, right? You offer that preferred customer with an upgrade option. Now, the only thing that's not in here is somebody who wants the business. Somebody wants the business and they're ready to schedule an event. They are, yes, this is what I'm going to do. I've already thought of these people. They're showing you signs that, they've got that follow through, and they have a 90-day commitment with the product. Ambassador. Okay. And I will just share, personally, I am making a big move to, if someone signs up as an ambassador, the only option they have is a $199 welcome pack, or the largest value welcome pack. Okay. That's the only option. Statistically, they're 20% higher chance, it's like 20 to 25% more likely to continue to be active month after month after month. They have a higher success rate. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But so that's me. That's why it's like, it's got to be triplex and something else. Okay, they're set, they know that like month 2 and 3, they're going to just order triplex and MetaBurn and X Factor Plus. But month 1, $199, or the larger welcome pack. They're set with that. Okay. If somebody is not sure, or they're doing something that looks like, they're like, well, I just really want to start with the 3 and they're not moving. Awesome. Preferred customer. Okay. So there's that. Questions with that. So that's one area to focus on. That is how to get them set up with what's good. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. Questions with that? Now, here's the benefits for you. Preferred customers, yeah, they do not get you a rank, but preferred customers you actually earn a little bit more money on. Like if you look at somebody who orders a triplex from you every single month as an ambassador versus somebody who orders as a preferred customer, you make more money as a preferred customer, realistically. Okay, that's nice. And then you hit 500 PV and now you're earning 25% commissions. It's real nice. Okay, it's a great way to boost your paycheck. And Plexus has made that shift in a lot of our contests. Like we used to not get any points, any credits for any convention or leaders retreat contest for preferred customers. And they've made that shift because they've listened and said, this is legit. Like we need to have balance. You'll see probably announced this month will be Consistency Club. There's a balance between preferred customers and ambassadors. It's a good, solid business. And it's also what helps your people. Remember, a preferred customer who orders 3 months in a row, now those consecutive subscriptions, they get 10% off every order that's consecutive month after month after month. It can be a subscription of 25 PV or 225 PV, and they get 10% off, which is almost ambassador pricing. Okay, so that is their reward for being consistent. And at which point, if they're ordering 225 PV, upgrade them. You know what I mean? Have them share their story. Like they are now going to go silver and be an ambassador. There's a really solid way to start them as a preferred customer and roll them in as an ambassador. I have done this tactic recently with somebody who was interested in the business, but she was really hesitant about joining in. And I just prayed about it. And I thought, you know what? If she joins as an ambassador, I want her to be able to go hard and fast and hit those fast start achievements. So I started her as a preferred customer. We have been talking. She's attending events. She's praying about it. She's starting to talk to people. When she joins, her desire is boom, fast start, right? She can just go quick because she already has an understanding. So it really can be an incredible asset. Okay. And I firmly believe that when that, I can say to people with confident conviction, so the best way for you to order is this, and just tell them the only way they're going to order. And this is the best way because it is. And you really, feel that way. You know that's longevity is going to be best. Okay. So second, a large component of all of this, starting them off well, is being comfortable with the $199 welcome pack or the largest value welcome pack, being comfortable with that, okay? As well as talking to people about the business, okay, is asking them questions. So what is your interest in Sherry? Obviously you connected to me because of my story. There's tons of great training calls, posts about how to share the largest value welcome packs, how to lead with the business first and be comfortable asking that. Okay. And I'm going to kind of leave that there. That's point number 2. Okay. Because there's a lot of great resources and I'm kind of going with time here. So this is going to cut us off in about 2 minutes. If you guys are cool to jump back on, you can literally re-click the same link and we can all just jump right back on if it cuts us out, and I'll record and splurge splice them together. Okay. So actually let's just do it now. Let's all sign out and that way it'll be clear for point number 3.